Hello, listeners. This is going to be episode 71. It's continuation of Oli Reynolds' interview. That was episode 70, so make sure you've gone and checked that one out before you check this one out. I will leave a link in the show notes below. But as always, guys, the biggest push we want to do for this year is reviews. If you are on an iOS device, an Apple device, it is very, very simple. If you're listening to it through the default Apple app, all you have to do is click on the album art or the show art and it will spin around. There'll be a star rating system. Give me 4 stars, please. No, I'm not begging. I'm not even telling. Just give me 4 stars, and then if you want to give a little bit more info, you can leave a comment as well. And if that's really the easy side of it, that's how easy it is. It's not hard, and I don't think I'm asking for a lot when I ask for reviews. So go ahead, leave a review. If you like the show, leave a comment if you like the show, how we can get better, what we're doing bad. It's really a space for you to express yourself. This podcast, I express myself. You have the permission to express your damn self as well. That being said, let's get into the episode. Enjoy it. I'll talk to you at the end. Episode 71 of the Fit Pro podcast. No, I'm exactly the same. I don't consider myself a personal trainer anymore. I haven't physically done it for a lot of years, but within the last year or so, I've spoken to so many fitness professionals on this show, and super successful ones, way more successful than I was ever, and they all say the same thing, which is it's the ego. The ego gets fitness professionals in trouble 9 times out of 10. And from my personal experience, I mean, the last gym I worked in, it was like there was constant animosity. We're all doing the same thing, guys. There's plenty to go around. The obesity problem isn't going away. Lots of people still don't know what the hell they're doing in the gym, and lots of PTs still don't know what the hell they're doing in the gym. So there is no reason for such ridiculous animosity towards basically what's your kin, what's your we're all fighting the same battle. Like you said, if we were on the field with each other, we'd all be screaming the same thing. Like it makes no sense to me. So the ego is a very big thing. But so from the outside looking in now, for me, I see a lot of PTs that are terrible. Yeah, see a lot. It's very easy to get a certificate now because it is a super trend. It's a hyper trend, and everybody wants to cash in on that. And I call a lot of them Kellogg's Box Warriors, but like Kellogg's Box certificates. Like you can just go buy some breakfast and you can get one. But is that a problem for you guys in the UK at the moment?
I mean, I've had my fair share of this, where we've inspired people so much and helped them lose weight and do really well, where they've gone and got their own certificate and become a personal trainer themselves. And as I said, I walked into a gym and I didn't even have a certificate, and I had to learn, what I'd learned. And I remember there was a trainer at Ballantyne's, and we all took the mick out of him, but he was always reading. He was always reading books. I can't remember who he was reading about, but reading books about hormones and all these different types of things. And I remember the whole team were laughing at him. And I remember putting a Facebook status up that evening, and I literally put, "I've seen the truth." And obviously nobody don't know what I was talking about. I didn't get any likes, didn't get any comments or anything like that. But the next day, I started learning. I started self-educating away from what the certificates taught. Started learning about hormones, started talking just basically all the advanced stuff, right, that the certificates don't teach you. And within literally 3 to 4 weeks, I'd read all the books. I did some additional courses that I knew that I needed to book onto. And then I become one of the better trainers. So the worst trainers out there, they're going to have that moment where they're going to go, I need to be better. And what's going to happen is actually you're going to see, the decent trainers will rise up. We all started off not knowing much, but the certificates didn't teach us much. In England, it is exactly the same. They don't teach you much. They teach you how to start up a treadmill, and then that's about it. And then on the level 3, they'll teach you some advanced training methods like drop sets. Like it's not good enough. But the trainers that are that passionate, the trainers that want to do better, the trainers that really want to change lives and make an impact and do better for themselves and their family, they're going to go out and learn the better stuff. And I think self-education is the best way forward. And to just keep reading, keep learning, keep watching videos, and just keep practicing. And that is the best thing that you can do. And obviously, as long as you're safe, as long as you don't get people to do stupid stuff, I think you're going to be okay. But you know, it is a shame. It is a shame that you do have these people. But, you know, we all started off at a certain level. Yeah. It's like when a new person comes into a gym, they look at it and they don't have a clue what they're doing. And they make so many stupid mistakes, or they do this and they do that, and it doesn't give them what they want. And then they realize, okay, maybe this is what I need to go and do. Mm-hmm. And I think we all need that. We all need that in life. It's not even just in the fitness industry. We need to start afresh at something and then just realize that sometimes the entry level certificate stuff is the very basics, and you need to keep learning from there.
Yeah, and you're absolutely correct. I think the industry is very much self-regulating. Any industry that is oversaturated, generally the cream rises to the top. The people that go the extra mile generally survive. And yeah, ultimately it is self-regulating, and it's shown by how many PTs drop off after getting their certificate and go into a gym for 4 weeks and go, wow, I haven't made a few $1,000s yet. What's going on? I think it's the way they market it here in Australia is it's the lifestyle. It's the you get to work whenever you want. You get to be your own boss. People don't realize the work that comes along with being your own boss and the hours you have to do to make the money. So
you've just brought yourself a job, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the worst thing. You've just brought yourself a job. You just brought yourself a job where it's more competitive than probably the job that you just left. Exactly. It's more ego than the job that you probably just left. So I think if people did realize that, they wouldn't go into the industry. But you know, there is so many people that have done it and then gone, oh well, you know, I enjoy it, and
it's not for me.
And some say it's not for you. So it's just one of those. And I think the industry, I think we're going to be in a good place. I think more people are getting in shape now more than ever. I know we've got this problem with obesity and stuff like that, but I do. If you've got to look at Instagram. Yeah. Like, I don't know whether it's because we now Instagram is around and you see more fit people, but like there is younger people in better shape now, like 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds in much better shape than when I was 16, 17. Like there was nobody in that good shape. Like you see some crazy things. And yeah, like we had Body Power last May, which my agency had a stand at. And I don't know if you've heard of the guy, Christian Guzman.
Yes.
He's a big YouTube guy.
Yep.
And his literally line to meet him, I was literally going all the way around to my stand, and my stand was on the other side of the room. It was incredible. They were all young. They were all 15, 16, 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
And like that is great. There is these people inspiring younger generation to be fitter, so therefore they're doing the right thing. And if you look at someone like Christian Guzman, I think more people need to look at how he models himself in the fitness industry.
Yeah,
he's got the ego that he doesn't have one. No. He just gets on with his daily grind and just does what he does, and he's inspiring literally millions of people now.
When I talk about Christian Guzman, and when I mention him to people, like people that want to find some new content to listen to or watch, and they go, it's like a reality TV show. But if you look at what he does as a businessman and the way he markets and carries himself in the fitness industry, there's a reason he's got a Ferrari. There's a reason he's got a Lambo. He's good at what he does. Right?
Yeah.
He's ridiculously good at what he does, and he's only been doing it for like 5 years.
He's 23.
He's 20.
He's 23.
Exactly. Like,
and
how can you hate on that?
Yeah, there's people out there that are, well, for instance, I'm 20. I think I'm 28. I think. Yeah. And I don't have a Ferrari. You know, it's one of those things where I'm just like, well, he's doing something. I've dropped my ego here, and I'm like, well, what's he doing that I'm not doing?
Yeah.
Like that's what you should always be asking yourself. And it's not comparing yourself to anyone, but it's just like, well, he doesn't have an ego. He's helping millions of people. He's got his own clothing brand. He's got a gym. what's he doing, what's his message, and what's working. So go and consume that content, even if it's only you probably only need to watch 5 or 6 videos to get what's going on. And he does talk business, he talks fitness as well. And I think it's a nice thing to watch, actually, because I think we said something earlier about we isolate ourselves as entrepreneurs and as fitness professionals. Yes. But when you surround yourself with other fitness professionals in a mastermind setting or watching people on YouTube, you don't feel alone, and you realize that there are people out there having the same struggles as you, and that will help you overcome the struggles that you're having.
100% agree with that statement. That is exactly the way I feel about you're not alone, right? There is so many people now. There's so many examples, and Gary Vee says it the best. I was listening to a podcast today. It was actually on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he said, I'm an immigrant or whatever, but there's so many blueprints out there right now. All you literally have to look for is somebody that looks like you that's successful. Do what they do. There's so many blueprints. There's so many ways to be successful. It's just not that one, you have to be a CEO of a company anymore. You know, there is so many ways. So you are basically the CEO of 2 companies. One of those being a marketing company. What are some of your tips, like some golden nuggets for the listeners out there today that can implement straight away that will increase their business online?
That's a good one. Wasn't prepped for this one. So I think the first one has to be do Facebook advertising. I know most people are like, well, I already do it. But are you doing it to a way where you are literally double or tripling your money? Because most people lose money on a Facebook ad. And the way that I do it is you need to build that email list. If you're just doing it to book consultations or book a transformation session, or just to give one session away, then sell to them, you're doing it wrong. You need to be, there's 3 things that we have when it comes to marketing. The marketing is basically, it comes down to traffic. So we're buying traffic. We're in control of that traffic only if you have some information from them that you can future market to them via email marketing. So when people talk about Facebook marketing, yes, you can Facebook market, but can you email market on top of that? And that's basically what my company does. For the marketing side, we do the Facebook advertising, but then we do the back end marketing with a text follow-up and email marketing on the back end. And I think that's where most people are missing out. So you need to make sure that you've got, let's say, for instance, we'll give you a blueprint here now. Let's say, for instance, you've got a 12-week transformation and you're looking for 10 women. So attention, Perth, we're looking for 10 women who want to lose weight, tone up, blah, blah, blah. Let's say, for instance, that gets through. Facebook accepts it. People click on it. They go through to the next page. It says, enter details to learn more information. So they give their name, their number, and their email address. Now, they enter that. You've got the lead. Okay, you call them up, you sell to them. If they buy it, great, perfect. If they don't, what do you do next? So they go into an automated series that kicks off after the transformation starts. You get them to know, like, and trust you via video content that you film on YouTube, which I'll talk in a second about. You'll give them tips on how to achieve their goal. And most importantly, you'll give them something that's going to achieve their goal from home. Okay, give them something. Let them get results in advance, because when they think about losing weight, they're going to think of you. They're not going to think of Zumba, or they're not going to think of the boxercise class that's on that their friends doing. They're going to think of you because you helped them. So get them to know, like, and trust you. Give them content, give them value in their inbox, because people are still reading emails. All right. And then on the back end, let's say in about when you go, okay, my next 12-week transformation is coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm going to send some sales emails out to my list. That person they're going to be like, you're not even going to need to get on the phone to them. They're going to go, yes, I want to buy, because they've turned from a cold lead into a warm or hot lead. And that's what people are doing. People are just selling to purely cold leads at the moment. They're not making the most of warm or hot leads. And that's where the cheaper leads come from as well, your email list. Yeah. And that's why I've got an email list of 9,000 people, because we sell out on our transformations every single time. Christmas, we couldn't take any more after January, for our 6-week transformation. So we're about to launch our next program today. So it's one of those where I do think it's important. I mentioned YouTube as well, because I see so many fitness professionals now, they get their phone out and they film this video about these tips and all that kind of stuff. And how I feel, this is more of a future paced thing that I see the future going. People need to stop doing that. I know that sounds insane, because I want people to create more content, more valuable content, but people don't value free. And because every single trainer under the sun is doing it, people are going to scroll past that video every single time. Now, your clients, great, they're going to pay attention to it. But if it's just on your timeline, then I don't think it's going to be worth it. Put everybody in a Facebook group so that they're free to leave, they're free to enter in that group, and they've almost put their hand up saying, yes, I'm a warm lead, teach me the ways. And then when you do have a promotion, you can give them a video or give them content and just put that video in a free Facebook group. But if you look on my timeline on Facebook, there's no fitness or fat loss videos at all. It's all on a private Facebook group that I've got for my prospects, and then obviously I've got a private Facebook group for my clients. So it's almost having like little buckets of, there's your prospects, there's your clients. And it's the same in my email list. There's my prospects, there's my clients, there's my old clients. These are people that have done my programs as well, but didn't sign up. Like, I've got different buckets for everything. So if you are making videos, you need to be making videos and putting it on YouTube, because people get paid for that traffic. There is a piece of software, and I can't think for the life of me what it is, but you download it in Google Chrome, go onto YouTube, and you can see how much money these people are making from YouTube videos. For instance, I know Christian Guzman, he makes around about 12,000 to 21,000 a month just off his YouTube channel. It's insane. But obviously, as a fitness professional, hopefully one of you will make enough videos to make enough money and get enough views, and somehow, get picked up in some way, shape or form where you get a lot of viewers. You're not going to hit those numbers. I don't think that's going to happen. But over time, these things build up. But you've got to be what we call omnipresence in marketing, where you're on every single platform. You've got to be in your client's email address. You've got to be on their Facebook. You've got to be on their Snapchat. You've got to be on their Instagram. You've got to be everywhere. And if you're not, you're being missed. So still put the content out there, but you've got to look at the mediums that you're doing. And I just think content video needs to be on a platform where it is video based, like YouTube.
Yeah. So as a fitness professional, how would one market or present themselves on Snapchat? Market on Snapchat to try and get business, because I know Snapchat's massive at the moment. I'm on it, not as much as I should be, but I am on it. How do they make it work?
So I wrote an email about this. I think it was about a year ago now, and it was like 10 things on how to do on Snapchat, and I'll kind of go through the first few that I think that are most important. It gives you the chance to be so personal. You can really get to know someone. Like, I've picked up clients from Snapchat. I didn't think it would work. But for instance, I would literally, when somebody adds me, I send them a snap of basically, hi, I'm Oli. I own 2 gyms. Or if it's a personal trainer, I'm like, hi, I'm Oli. I own a digital marketing agency. If you've got any questions about digital marketing, let me know. Or if you've got any questions about fitness and fat loss, let me know. And you just build up a dialogue. It just goes back to a conversation like me and you are having now. And I think that's what people miss. I think that's where Snapchat is brilliant. The other thing is as well, it's an inside, it's almost like you see these vlogs on YouTube. It's almost like that. That's how you should treat Snapchat. You should do it all day, every day. And you should be having snippets of your life. You should be having snippets of what's going on in your gym. You should have snippets of, who's lost the most weight in your gym, and just like all these little stories that are going on. And maybe just pick 3 key stories a day. Like, the first one would be, what's your morning routine? And the next one might be, okay, meet Susan. She's lost 40 pounds with us. And that story takes you a couple of minutes. And then on the evening, you might do literally a 2-minute snap of one of your sessions going on. It might be a boot camp or a HIIT session or whatever it might be. But if you do that every single day, that omnipresence comes out, because they're seeing you not only on Facebook, not only on YouTube, not only in email, but they're seeing you on Snapchat. and they'll reach out to you in the way that the medium that they enjoy most. Some people love YouTube. Some people love Facebook. Some people just have Instagram. Some people only do Snapchat. So they'll reach out in the medium that you've got. If you always just do one thing, you're always going to get a certain result. But if you start, 2xing it, 3xing it, 4xing it on different platforms, you're going to do well. And the mistake that I've seen the most with Snapchat as well is they don't create custom content for the platform.
Yes.
So Instagram, they're doing the same posts they do on Facebook, or YouTube. They're just basically taking their videos that they've done on Facebook and putting it on YouTube. So, there is time for that, but then you also need that custom type thing as well. One other thing on Snapchat as well is the geo filters. I have done this for my transformations. It's basically where and it's so easy to set up. You literally get a PNG file, which is like a transparent background with your logo on it, or it can be anything. And basically, it's one of the filters that when you swipe across, as long as you're in a certain radius, you send it off to Facebook and say, I want, let's say, my gym, this radius. So you might say, whatever the demographic of your radius is, like 10K, you want a 10K radius, and I want this to go out on a Saturday and a Sunday. And it's just basically like fitness transformation is launching. Then you can put your phone number across the top, and it could say screenshot this and call me. And then that is one way of getting clients. Now, I'll be honest with you, we haven't done that to that extreme, but that's something we are going to be launching for our digital marketing agency, and I'm going to be doing that for my Birmingham city centre location.
Perfect. Awesome, man.
So
look, I'm going to challenge you on one thing you've said so far. All right?
Yeah.
So you're big on the email marketing side of things when it comes to building your list, etc. What do you say to the people out there that say email is dead?
I would say I made $8,000 in the month of January from email marketing.
Okay, it's a good rebuttal.
But in all seriousness, it is something that I'm hearing, and I'm starting to hear now. And I am seeing, again, I'm going to give you 2 points to the argument. I agree with you and I disagree with you. People are still going to read emails, but only if they're bloody good. Like, people aren't going to read a shit email that you're sending them about, here's 10 ways to lose fat. People, like, we all know a boring person.
Yeah.
You don't go out your way to talk to them because it sounds really rude, but it doesn't fill your day with light. It doesn't help you in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
It's the same with a negative person. You don't spend time with them. You avoid that. So if your email is boring or it's negative, then of course nobody's going to read your emails. If it didn't work, Frank Kern wouldn't do it. If it didn't work, Gary Vee wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Some of the top marketers in the world, they would not do it. Like, the reason why these top marketers are on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, sending emails is because they work. So it won't work if you don't approach it correctly, if your subject lines are poor. They're not, if they're really generic, like newsletters, that kind of thing, like that was so in the 90s. It's not going to work. But if you make it based around your character, if you leave cliffhangers, there's a really good course. I can't remember for the life of me what the course is called, but I know the guy who did it. It's a guy called Andre Chaperon, and he is one of my other mentors in England, Paul Moore, is good friends with him, and he does a daily email course as well. So check those out. He talks about daily email and what the Americans call a Seinfeld email type thing, which is basically all I've said is on Snapchat to do. It's just you talk about your day and tie it into fitness. So say, for instance, I could do this. I would say, hi guys, today I did a podcast recording with a friend of mine, Marvin, in Australia. And basically we talked about fitness and the fitness industry and a little bit about marketing. I really enjoyed it. Now, the cool thing is I felt like I had lots of energy because today I'm fasting. And then I'd go into the dialogue of 16-8.
Yep.
So I'm telling them a little bit about my day, but then I'm helping them with some fitness and fat loss. So they're indoctrinated into me as a person. They're having like a view on me, and then they're also learning. So, and then I would leave a cliffhanger in the PS, and I'd be like, PS, you will never guess what I'm going to do tomorrow. Make sure you check in. And then they'll be like, oh, I want to see what he's doing tomorrow. And then they'll read the email tomorrow. So how you do one email needs to follow on from the next one to the next one to the next one.
Yeah, and how you do one thing
and then
how you do everything.
Yeah, and then basically, in short, when it comes to a sales email, they're going to get opened. If you just send sales emails all the time, they're not going to get opened. That's why email marketing is dead, because people are just selling all the time. They're not giving it. Yeah, they're not giving it any value whatsoever. And that's why I disagree with Facebook video, because most people are just sell my shit all the time on Facebook.
Yeah. Especially those fucking live videos now. We're getting quite annoying when everyone's just trying to sell shit. Add value.
Yeah.
Add value to the marketplace.
I think the most interesting thing is I spoke to Facebook last week. Their department is in Ireland over here, and I spoke to the guy and I was like, I keep seeing these tabs when I set up ads, and it says in live ad, and I'm like, when is that going to happen? And I don't know. I don't know if you've heard about this.
I have seen it. Yes.
In Australia. Yeah, and it's basically that you can actually have an advert in a live session, and it's whether it will be your own live session or whether it will be somebody else's that you can target and put it in. That is going to be incredible. So in that aspect, yes, I'm tired of live videos and people doing them for the sake of doing them. But when you can actually get an ad in front of that as well, I think brilliant. Bring it on.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Look, we've been doing this for almost an hour now. Ollie, time flies.
Time flies.
Time flies, man. We'll have to do it again, because I think we'll just cut it off for now for this episode. Yep. I've got so many questions to ask you. We'll have to do this again another time. But in the meantime, how can the listeners go about finding you?
So I think probably the best place that I hang out is going to be on Facebook. That's more my medium, where I basically like to talk. So if you just add me, Oli Reynolds, Oli Reynolds, Reynolds. I'm sure you'll probably pop a link in the description or something.
Yep.
Basically just message me as well. Don't just add me and not say anything. Add me, message me, talk to me, like say hello. I'm not going to sell you anything. I just basically like to get to know people. And then we just basically go from there. It's social media. Let's have some fun and be social. You can add me on Snapchat as well, which is Oli Entrepreneur. I'm on that as well.
Perfect, man. Is there anything you'd like to say before you leave?
Drop the ego.
Drop the ego.
I think if you are like, I've got every right to be the most ego-based trainer in Birmingham and walk around like, the Vince McMahon walk that Conor McGregor did.
The power walk.
The power, like, oh my God, I just don't get it. Like, I could do that all day long, but I live in a beautiful apartment in Birmingham City Centre, right on Broad Street, and I've got everything I want in life. I've got a beautiful fiance, and but I want to learn from everybody. Like, I will read a book that somebody said, oh, that was the worst book. Okay, cool, I'll read it. Or I just want to learn all the time, and that's the only way that you're going to grow as a human, let alone in business. But you just need to grow as a human, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. I see so many trainers not do things because they're scared of making a mistake. Like, making mistakes is the only way that we grow in life. So make mistakes, drop the ego. The only place that really you should have an ego is if at any is when you're training in the gym, because you need that confidence that you can lift certain things. But that's it. And I think that's where it transpires over, and that's where people get mixed up personally.
I think you're right. That's where it starts. But that is definitely a topic for another day. Ollie, thank you so much for jumping on, man.
No worries, man. Appreciate it.
And, let's slow down. Last question.
Go on then.
do you think Conor McGregor is going to fight Floyd Mayweather next?
I think it will happen. It depends if it's like the Pacquiao Mayweather type situation that's going to go on forever and ever and ever.
10 years. Come on.
Yeah, it's going to be pointless. But we're talking money here. Like, there's a lot of money to be made. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It'll be the biggest pay-per-view of all time.
Yeah, so just for that reason, it's going to happen. Even if it's just like the worst fight in the world, they're just going to go and do it. It might even be a whole setup like WWE style. It might be fake. That's probably the route they're trying to just negotiate how fake it's going to be.
Who's going to take the fall?
Exactly, yeah.
I'm not even a Conor fan, but I would love to see that fucking fight. It'd be great. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, I've been doing this for a while. I still don't know how to sign off on these damn podcasts. It's a matter of just saying goodbye, I think.
Yeah.
But how would you sign off a podcast? If you had one, how would you sign it off?
I'm probably in the same position as you. I have no idea. I have absolutely none.
Cool.
Just maybe YOLO. You only live once.
YOLO.
Something simple like that.
YOLO, drop the ego, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Exactly, yeah.
And that was episode 71 with Oli Reynolds. That is it, done and dusted. That is the last part of this. So if you want to learn more about Oli, make sure you check out the show notes below and give it a big thumbs up on Facebook if you're listening through there as well. Now, guys, we got some, let's call it housekeeping. We got a housekeeping. Episode 72, yes, I got it right. Episode 72 will feature Jordan Syatt. Now, Jordan is Gary Vaynerchuk's PT. He trains Gary V. So he's somewhat successful to train that level of success himself. Now, before we can venture off into the next episode, what I want every single one of you to do is go and check out Audible. Audible is definitely one of the sponsors of the show. I use Audible every single day. I'm listening to the Thank You Economy right now by Gary Vee, to and from on the train and in the gym as well. So you can just basically learn wherever you are. If you head to audibletrial.com/FitProPodcast, I will give you a 30-day free trial. If after 30 days you do not like the service, which I'm assuming you will like, you can cancel. No charge, no anything. You can just cancel and move on with your life. Alright? So if you haven't got it, go check it out. Go and check out Audible. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you're listening to. I love listening to audiobooks. Give me some suggestions. I'll get that word out. Suggestions. Look at that pronunciation. Peace. Catch you on the next one.